Today's lesson, we're going to be looking at sign rules, mastering our signs. Now we have two signs in mathematics, positive and negative. These are the signs we have. So any number you see, either that number is positive or it's negative. If you have two, these two, if you have three, you see this number I'm writing, the sign behind the sign attached to this number is positive. If any number is not bearing any sign at all, know that number is positive. If a number is negative, you will see -2. This is a negative number, -3. But when a number is not bearing any sign, it means it's positive. +2 -5. In this case, you have 2 bearing positive and 5 negative. Now, what do we do when we have these signs? Most times students are confused. They don't know whether what to do. They want how the answer will be. Will the answer be positive? Will the answer be negative? There are always many students are confused when they have different signs. So now I'm going to clarify those confusions for us to be able to solve our mathematics with ease. Now let's look at the first sign rule. So when you come to adding numbers, the rule says that if the two numbers we are adding and subtracting are positive, at the end the sign will be positive. Looking at this example, you have 8 plus 5. You can see that this 8 is positive, this 5 is positive. You simply add it together and the answer will be positive. So that will give you what? 8 plus 5 will give you 13. Now you look at the second one, 8 minus 5. 8 minus 5. You have 8 as positive. There is nothing attached to this. So when a number has no sign attached to it, it is positive. And you have this 5 as negative. And the bigger number is positive. 8 is the bigger number. It has a positive sign. So 8, you just simply do the subtraction and give it the sign of the bigger number. So 8 minus 5 will give you what? It will give you 3. You can see our 3 is positive because this 8 is a positive. Now look at this one, -8 plus 5. When you have two opposite signs, that is minus and plus together, the bigger number, what you simply do, you subtract and you keep the sign will be the sign of the bigger number. Because this is the minus is attached to 8, your answer will bear a minus sign. You simply do 8 minus 5. 8 minus 5 will give you 3. But you're not going to write 3. You're not going to write it 3. If you write it this, it will be wrong. Why? Because this 8, which is the bigger number, is having negative sign. So your answer will be what? -3. So that is it. And you see the next one, you have a -8 minus 5. When you have two negative numbers, you simply add and keep the sign of the number the same. So what you do is -8 minus 5. Because the sign is the same, what you're going to do is exactly like what you did here when you say 8 plus 5. That's what you're going to do here. -8 minus 5 is the same as 8 plus 5, but the answer will have a negative sign. So what will happen? The answer will become -13. -13. So from this addition, we have discovered that once the sign is the same, what you just do is to add. You add together. Once you add it, you keep the sign, you maintain the sign. So this is the same sign, +8 and +5. You add it and the answer is positive. -8 and -5. You add it and the answer will be negative, -13. So just so that -8 minus 5 is -13. Once the sign is the same, you simply add and keep the answer in negative if it is a negative sign. If it is a positive sign, you keep the answer in positive. But if they are two contrasting signs, plus and minus, you subtract and give the answer will be have the sign of the bigger number. That is what you did here. See here, we subtracted and our answer is positive. If I don't write plus, it means that that thing is a positive. Let us look at multiplication rule. Now you have 3 times 5. This 3 is a positive 3 and 5 is a positive 5. 3 times 5. Once the sign is the same, the answer will be positive. If you have the same sign, positive, positive, the two numbers having the same sign, the answer will be positive. So our answer here is 3 times 5 is 15. Now you look at this one, you have here minus 3 minus 5. This is the same sign. This 3 is having minus here. 5 is having minus here. Where I say it is positive, it's still positive. So minus 3 times minus 5. The answer will still be positive. The answer will still be 15. So you're not going to put minus 15 when it is multiplication. If it is addition, it's different. But when it is multiplication, minus times minus will give you positive. Plus times plus will give you positive. Now, when you have the difference, when you have minus times plus, like here you have minus 3 times 5. Here 5 is positive and 3 is negative. So whether it is 3 times minus 5 or minus 3 times 5, because one of them is positive and one of them is negative, the answer must be in negative. So minus 3 times 5 will give you minus 15. And minus 5 times 3 will still give you minus 15. So when the signs are different in multiplication, when the signs are different, the answer must be in negative. The answer must be negative. And when the signs are the same, that is either the signs are positive, negative or positive, the answer must be positive. Whether positive, once the two numbers have the same sign, the answer will be positive. Now let's look at the division rule. When a negative number is divided by a positive number, so whenever you are dividing and one number is negative and one number is positive, whichever way, the answer will be negative. Like in this case, minus 12 divided by 3, that will give you what? It will give you negative 4, because one of the number is negative. And you look at this one, 12 divided by minus 3. 12 divided by minus 3 will give you still minus 4. Reason, because one of the number is bearing a negative sign. But when you have 12 divided by 3, once they are positive, two of them are positive, the number will be positive. And another thing to add is that minus 12 divided by minus 3. So when you have the two number negative, minus 12 divided by minus 3. You see this one? Minus 12 and minus 3. Since the two numbers have negative sign, the answer will be positive. So if the two numbers have negative sign, the answer will be positive. If the two numbers have positive sign, the answer will be positive. But if they have different signs, the answer will be negative. So minus 12 divided by minus 3 will give me what? 4. The answer is positive. So in our division, we have mastered that. We have learned that when the denominator and the numerator, when they have the same sign, whether positive or negative, the answer will now be positive. But when the numerator and the denominator, if any of them have different sign, that means if they have different sign, positive and negative, that means the answer will be negative. So let us look at the other rule. Now let's look at when multiplying a bracket. Whenever a number is multiplying something in the bracket, that number will multiply everything inside the bracket like this. This minus 2 is going to multiply 3 and is going to multiply 4. And because it is having a minus sign, whenever a minus sign is multiplying anything in the bracket, all the signs will change. Remember, this 3 is having a positive 3. And this 4 is a positive 4. And we have a negative number because there is minus here. It is going to change these signs. So what I'm going to have is minus 2 times 3 will give you what? Minus 6. That will be minus 6. And you have another one, minus 2 times this 4, this positive 4, that will be minus 8. That becomes minus 8. And remember, now you're going to add them together. Minus 6 minus 8. These two signs are the same. You add and leave the answer in negative. That becomes minus 14 is equal to minus 14. So, but if it is a positive number, the signs in the bracket will never change. So look at this one again. Minus 2 bracket 3 minus 4. Remember, whenever a negative sign is multiplying anything in the bracket, the signs must change. So here, our 4 is having a negative sign. So this 4 will change to plus. If it's having a positive sign, it will change to minus. But since it's having a negative, it will change to plus. So our answer becomes like this. Minus 2 times 3 will be minus 6. And minus 2 times minus 4 will become positive 8 plus 8. And when you add it like this, 6 plus 6, 8 minus 6 will give you what? 2. And you have the answer as 2. You can see, whenever a negative sign might multiply a negative sign, it changes to plus.